Hey, what's up guys, it's Alicia here today, and we are back with another video on Sonic Frontiers. And in today's video, we have two interviews with Takashi Iizuka and Kishimoto. And there's nothing massive in terms of details for the game, more so behind the development and stuff like that. I'm not going to go through all of them entirely, I'm just going to pick out the most interesting bits, to me anyways. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the news at hand. On to 4Gamer. We Sonic Rush. 4Gamer. I see. However, if the development period is that long, Iizuka-san, the producer may not feel comfortable with it. Takashi Iizuka, hereafter referred to as Mr. Iizuka. This time, the production time was about twice as long as the usual Sonic, but more than half of that time was trial and error. However, with every round of testing and improvement, the game was definitely getting better, so I wasn't worried at all. So I was just worried about the schedule. Mr. Kishimoto, I think that the upper management of the company was probably frustrated because it wasn't going to be completed, but thanks to Mr. Iizuka working hard to protect the scene, we were able to welcome this day today. Iizuka, what we aimed for this time was Sonic's third evolution. It was the same when we switched from the pixel art to 3D, but evolution always involves trial and error. I explained this to my superiors and those around me, and they understood. Alright then, so one of the reasons that Frontiers took so long to develop is because there was a lot of trial and error throughout development. They had one main idea obviously, but then had to improve on it and make it better because to begin with, it wasn't that fun to play. But then obviously the people at Sega were getting quite annoyed thinking that, oh, this game isn't going to be finished and everything, and tried to rush Iizuka, but then no. Iizuka tried to explain to them that they can't rush this game and that it will work, and yeah, essentially, Iizuka saved Sonic Frontiers. If it wasn't for Iizuka actually convincing Sega to give them more time to work on the game and make it better, this game might have been in a whole different situation than it is right now. Because obviously from the leaks, they said that the game wasn't that fun, it's kind of button mashy, combat was boring, the open zone was kind of empty, so yeah, Iizuka is an absolute legend. Honestly, I don't think people give Iizuka enough credit for what he actually does for the series. Iizuka is literally the only person from back in the 90s that is actually left with Sonic Team right now. You know, Yuji Naka and all the other people that were with Sonic from the beginning, they're all gone now, but no, Iizuka, he stayed here. And throughout his time with the series, Iizuka has gone to the greatest lengths just to get things done. For example, Sonic Heroes. One of Iizuka's co-workers were actually ill, so they couldn't complete the level design with him. So Iizuka had to do it all by himself, and he nearly worked himself to death. That's right, just for the sake of the game getting done properly, Iizuka nearly killed himself. Well, not killed himself, but worked himself to death. That is some serious dedication. No other developer in the history of Sonic developers has ever gone that far. With Yuji Naka, for example, he just straight up dipped during the development of Sonic 06, and yeah, Iizuka hasn't really done anything of that sort. Now, I know Iizuka's decisions aren't always good, for example, with colours and all that. It wasn't really our preferred method of keeping the series going. But honestly, I think at the time, that was kind of needed for the Sonic series. And yeah, it definitely worked. Because of Sonic Colors, Sonic kind of went back into a better light after the dark age of Sonic games, so yeah, even if you don't agree with all of Iizuka's decisions, he's still done a lot for this series, and it wouldn't be the same without him. And by that, I mean, it would be in a worse situation than it is right now. Anyways, after that little ramble, I'm sorry I just had to give Iizuka a bit of praise because he honestly just deserves it. Mr. Kishimoto. The answer to those who feel that the conventional Sonic has a strong peculiarity is also the answer for this open zone. In this work, you can actually advance the story by simply exploring the open zone. Playing Cyberspace is not required. It is only one of the options for advancing the story. 4Gamer. That was quite a bold move. Kishimoto. At first, the open zone we had in mind was more linear and limited, but after repeated test play, the degree of freedom increased, and it turned into something you could play on its own. As a result, it is said that it has become possible to clear even if you avoid all cyberspace and battles with enemies. Therefore, each player can capture the Starfall Island simply by pursuing their favourite play. So yeah, another confirmation once again that cyberspace is optional. The other two ways that we've seen so far they can get vault keys is from defeating enemies and 2, fishing with Big. 4Gamer. He said they could enjoy time attacks in an even state in cyberspace. Mr. Iizuka. Yes, the play of competing by filling less than 1 second of commas is still alive. Kishimoto. Of course, Sonic's growth factor is not related to cyberspace. All players are in equal condition in cyberspace. Alright, and that confirms that cyberspace isn't affected by the control sliders or upgrading Sonic's abilities. Which would explain why a lot of people will be complaining about the controls in cyberspace, because you can't actually affect them by the control sliders or upgrading Sonic. Which does make a lot of sense because the S ranks in cyberspace are affected only by time. So if you could just level up Sonic and get the max speed and then go back to cyberspace and get the S ranks very easily, that would kind of defeat the purpose of them. Alright then, next interview. Mr. Iizuka. if you use high speed action to bring out strong enemies, it will only get in the way of the sense of speed. If there's an enemy, the movement will stop. Mr. Kishimoto. But this time, the stage is an open zone that's not bound by the concept of a course, so you don't have to fight even if there are enemies. You can ignore the enemy because it's not a course. Mr. Kishimoto. That's right, you don't necessarily have to fight because you can capture it in another game. I assume he means in another place there. On the other hand, for those who like battles, I devoted my energy to creating a Sonic-like battle. Okay, so as well as Cyberspace, the combat is also optional? God, how much is optional in this game? At this point, they're gonna say, oh, you know what, playing the game, it's gonna be optional. The entire game is optional. You don't have to beat the entire game. You can press start on the title screen, and then immediately you go to the end of the game, and that's it, optional. Alright, obviously I'm kidding there, but still, it's good to see that they're actually giving you some choices here. If you don't like one element of the game, you can always just skip it, so yeah, that's good. So, reflecting those opinions, you increase the elements of the current battle and mystery solving. Mr. Kishimoto, it took time to match the answers there. Iizuka. This time, I think the clear time will be quite different between those who play stoically with time attacks and those who play slowly with puzzles and exploration. Alright then, so obviously, Cyberspace is going to be the quicker way to beat the game, but obviously, the other way is going to be slower than Cyberspace. Which does make sense because Cyberspace is going to be 1/3 of the game, so that naturally is going to mean it's going to be the quicker way to beat the game. Sonic is more popular in Europe and America than in Japan. Mr. Kishimoto. That's right. Our big goal was to make Sonic Team shine once more in the world. For that reason, it was necessary to optimize Ian's scenario for Japan, so I rewrote all the lines for Japan. We have true the context of words for Japanese people, such as Japanese people don't understand this, and you read the other side of the word. Of course, the content of the story has not changed. I rewrote the dialogue for Japan and Asia, so I hope you will pay attention to that as well. Mr. Iizuka. For example, if you watch the Japanese subtitles and English audio, the dialogue will be completely different. And there we go, once again, Kishimoto showing his dedication for the game, making sure that people from all regions will be able to enjoy Sonic Frontiers properly. There are levels from 1 to 99, but what is the maximum speed? Kishimoto, there is a speedometer in the game, and at first it shows around 20%, but at the maximum, it shakes off. You need to raise your level to get to the maximum speed, but on the other hand, for those who want to feel Sonic's extraordinary speed from the beginning, there is a secret technique that allows you to reach maximum speed without leveling up. Is hidden. I hope you can find it through playing. Oh, so that's interesting then. So, is he talking about the infinite side loop shape thing? Because we do know that when you draw an infinity sign with a side loop, it gives you infinite boost, but is that what Kishimoto's talking about? I don't think so, because he said it's hidden, you have to find it, so where is it in the world? I'm not sure. Maybe some sort of Easter egg in the game, or I don't know. But honestly, that is actually pretty cool that there are some secrets that actually aid you in the game. That's pretty cool, I think. By the way, I think that a melancholy story is different from Sonicness, but did you intentionally do that? Kishimoto. That's right. With the intention of raising the target audience, we made it a serious story. Rather than boys, we're aiming for a story that sticks to adolescents and older. That's the kind of story that differentiates it from other action games. Iizuka, if it's a work that's 100% Sonic-like, only Sonic fans will play it. If you don't dare to include elements that aren't Sonic, people who aren't Sonic fans won't be interested. In that sense, with photorealistic graphics and a serious story, the concept is different from the usual Sonic titles. Hang on. A story for adolescents and older people is Sonic gonna swear in this game? Like, come on, please. Okay, I'm kidding. But this is fantastic news, man. They finally realized that people don't want kiddie stories in Sonic anymore. We want proper, serious stories. It's been too damn long, man, I swear to God. And it's also good to see that they're not sacrificing anything just to appeal to a wider audience. They've got things that are actually good to actually appeal to non-Sonic fans, such as the graphics and everything, and also the story. Anyways, that about does it for today's video. So, we didn't get massive news in today's video, just some thoughts from Kishimoto and Iizuka. So we learned that pretty much Iizuka saved this game from Sega's hands once again. We got further confirmation that Cyberspace is optional, as well as some combat. Then Cyberspace isn't affected by the control sliders or leveling up. And then finally, there's some sort of secret in the open world that increases Sonic's speed without leveling up. But, what do you guys think of this news? Does it make you more excited for Sonic Frontiers, or the opposite? Let me know down below. Love to see what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one. Don't forget to become unleashed by hitting that join button down below. Remember, it's not necessary. And I will see you all next time. Peace!